Okay, so here is question number 8. It says, use inverse operations and algebraic properties to solve the following inequalities. Use substitution to check your solutions. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and solve these algebraically. Um, Again, you guys should be thinking ahead of me. So be thinking of the first step that you guys would do on this. And the first step I would do is add 5 to both sides. Okay, so 8a comes down, negative 5 and positive 5, that cancels itself out. We've got less than or equal to. 1 plus 5 is 6. Next step, I need to divide by 8. Okay, 8 divided by 8 is 1. 1 times a is less than or equal to 6 over 8. Now I can reduce this. I can divide the top by 2, which is going to be 3, and the bottom by 2 as well, which is 4. So my final answer is a is less than or equal to 3/4. Let's go ahead and take a look at letter B. Again, be thinking ahead. What should the first step be here? I'm looking at the variables. Okay, I got 6b here, 3b here. I want to put the b's on one side, and it's always easier. Well, most of the time it's easier to move the smaller coefficient, which would be the 3. So I am going to move this 3b to the other side. So I have to go minus 3b, minus 3b. Okay, so 6b minus 3b is 3b. I'm going to bring down this negative 1 is greater than 3b minus 3b. Well, that cancels. And I'm going to bring that 8 down. Okay, again, here's our variable. We need to get rid of this plus 1. So I'm going to add 1 to both sides. And so on the left, I end up with 3b. Negative 1 and positive 1 cancels. Bring down my symbol here. 8 plus 1 is 9. Okay, one more step here to get b by itself. I have multiply by 3. So I need to divide by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 1 times b is b. Is greater than 9 divided by 3 is 3. All right, let's take a look at the next problem here. Okay, so 0.25, that's the same thing as 1/4. So I'm going to write 1/4 instead. And everything else is going to be the same. All I'm doing right now is changing that 0.25 to 1/4. It's the only step I'm doing right now. Everything else will stay the same. Okay, now 1 divided by 4. How do I get rid of that? How do I get rid of 1 divided by 4? Well, I need to multiply by 4. Okay, so I'm going to write over here, multiply by 4. Okay, 4 over 1, that is 4. Okay, and I'm going to do the same thing over here, multiply by 4. Okay, so notice that the 1s are going to cancel, the 4s are going to cancel, and I'm just left with 16 minus 12c is less than or equal to, now I'm multiplying, 31 times 4 is 124, and then divide that by 1. I'll write over here so you guys can see what I'm talking about. 31 times 4 is 124, and we have that 1. So 124 divided by 1 is just 124. Okay, And so the next step would be I would subtract 16. So I'm going to go ahead and minus 16 on both sides. Okay, this is going to cancel. I'm left with negative 12c is less than or equal to 124 minus 16 is 108. Okay, now be thinking of the next step here. Here's our variable, and we've got multiply by negative 12. How do we get rid of multiply negative 12? By dividing by negative 12. Okay, now something important just happened. We got negative 12 divided by negative 12. That equals 1. 1 times c is c. What was the important thing that we did here? And this is a common mistake to forget, okay? Because we multiplied or divided, right? We divided by a negative. We have to change the sign. We have to flip this sign. So instead of it going that way, it's going to change. We're going to change it to this way. Okay, and 108, divide that by negative 12, that equals negative 9. Okay, so super important step right here. Because we divided by a negative, you got to change that sign. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at section B, or the next question here. These are all kind of the same. I want to get to one where we end up dividing or multiplying by a negative. So I'm going to look at letter E, see if we have to do that here. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and start my problem out. I've got 3 is less than. Now the first step we have to do here, well, there's a couple different ways we can do this. We can distribute that 3. Okay. We can distribute the 3 here. Or we can divide by 3. I think I'm going to divide by 3. So I'm going to divide this whole side by 3 so I can get rid of this 3. And what I do to one side, I got to do to the other side. Okay, 3 divided by 3 is 1, is less than, and then 3 divided by 3 is 1. And so these 3's will cancel each other out, and I'm left with negative 5d plus 16. Now remember, the goal to solving equations is we got to get this variable all by itself. And I've got this plus 16, I got this multiply negative 5. I need to get rid of the plus 16. So how do I get rid of plus 16? With a minus 16. Okay, so 1 minus 16, that's going to be a negative 15. Is less than negative 5d. Plus 16, negative 16, that's going to cancel itself out there. And so we have one more step left. We got this multiply by negative 5. Be thinking, there should be a couple things you're thinking here. Okay, to get rid of multiply negative 5, we have to divide by negative 5. Okay, negative 15 divided by negative 5 is a positive, because we have a negative divided by a negative. That's going to be a positive 3. And because we divided by a negative, what do we have to do? We have to flip this sign. We got to change the sign. It's going to go the other way now. Negative 5 divided by negative 5 is 1. 1 times d is d. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next section. I'll let you guys do problem F on your own. And please continue on to the next video, the consolidation activity, and we'll see you